All right, let's have a chat. This is going to be kind of a different video where I want to share with you my thoughts on the fitness space, me being a fitness coach, because I feel that the YouTube platform is where I could truly express how I feel, and also want to share that the most important thing that I want you to get away with all of this is that, I suppose, leading into what I'm about to share, is that values can change in your whole lifetime, and that is totally okay. When I say values change, like your goals, it just essentially means your goals can change. What you value, let's just say 3 months ago or 6 months ago, or even last year or 2 years ago, can be very different to the values that you have now. And that is so okay. And I'm sharing this because it took me time to realize this, that it is okay for values to change. And this is just speaking from my experience as well. Just to give you a bit of context, I have been in the fitness industry for almost a decade. I've trained myself. I've been through a long fitness journey, and I have shared that on my YouTube platform. And now that I'm 10 years in to my fitness journey, where I'm lifting weights and being an online coach for the past 3-4 years, I can see how my values have shifted even within the past year. And I really wanted to share this because my values have definitely changed. And if you are working on, let's just say, you have a particular goal that you're looking to achieve, and it's very different to what you were looking to achieve last year, that is so okay. And I really wanted to share this because everything that you see on social media, especially in the fitness space, just because your favorite fitness influencer or someone that you look up to is chasing building muscle, chasing fat loss, or have a particular way of achieving, or their values when it comes to their approach to training and to nutrition. And let's just say you followed that influencer for a very long time, and obviously our goals shift every time, and that's okay, because it shows that we are growing as a person. Maybe we have things that are happening in our lives that change our values, and we evolve and we grow. And if that influencer or fitness person that you look up to doesn't align with what you want to achieve in life, then that is so okay. And I feel that, and again, this is just from my personal experience and from what I've observed, well, I'd like to think that I've observed this, is that people will follow people on social media. And because people will follow people with that they look up to for a very long time. And yes, fitness influencers or people that you look up to, their values change as well, and your values will change. And it doesn't mean that you have to, or you feel the need to change your values to match them just because you look up to them. And I'm not saying that this is the case for everyone, but just something for you to be aware of. And I'm sharing this because my values, as I mentioned earlier in this video, has definitely shifted in the years of me being in the fitness industry. And the people that I looked up to in the past, I don't look up to anymore because my values have changed. And I feel that I'm going through a shift when it comes to being in the fitness space. So a couple of years ago, I would say prior to maybe this year, but I would say in the last 2-3 years, maybe 5 years, I have been so big on bodybuilding, and the whole goal was just to build huge muscle. And although that is a goal of mine still, like I don't mind, like I won't say no to building muscle. And I was also working towards a bodybuilding competition, and I wanted to really optimize the past few years to build as much muscle as I can, so that eventually when I do compete, I reveal the muscles that I have underneath. And I have finished that competition last year, and I just feel that the natural progression from when you do that was my second bodybuilding competition, and naturally you would want to continue. I wouldn't say naturally, but especially if you are in the fitness space, it is sort of, I don't like to use the word expected for you to because people will say, okay, well, you've competed, when is your next time that you compete? You go to the gym and you build muscle. People will assume that you are going to be working on your next bodybuilding competition. So you are going to have a big time off training, and then you're going to go back into a prep phase. And it's just this sort of, long game of doing competitions or whatever it is. And I'm not saying this is the case for everyone, but I certainly felt that I was expected to compete again. This is just, I want to put a disclaimer that this is just how I thought. Like, no one put a gun to my head and said, you're going to compete again. Like, no one said that, but I felt that because I was heavily, like, a lot of the people that I follow on social media have competed. I have friends that have competed. I am very big in the bodybuilding. I wouldn't say I'm big, but I am surrounded by a lot of people in the bodybuilding space, and just naturally it's, you are who you surround yourself with. And although I finished the competition, I want to continue building my muscle, and my muscle to just because out of my genuine interest. And in the last 5 years, because it took 5 years in between shows that I did a fitness competition, and in that 5 years, my goal was just to build as much muscle as possible, have massive glutes. I know. And I think in the last, I would say 6 months, my values have shifted. And this is what cut a long story short, my values have changed. I don't feel the urge to step back on stage anytime soon. I certainly don't have that urge. I have ticked it off the box that I have competed last year, and I don't regret a single thing. It was a really, really good experience, and I learned a lot mentally as well as physically. But over the last 6 months, I would say after my competition, I did have in the back of my mind to compete again. But I've done so much reflection, especially in the last few months, that I don't feel the need to want to step back on stage anytime soon. I don't feel the need to continue building my muscle. So like the drive isn't as prominent as it was previously. Like, it'll be a nice thing to continue to build muscle and to work on seeing how far I can push my body. Like, I still have that drive when I go train, but at the same time, it's like the drive isn't there to step back on stage anytime soon. And I feel that I just want to get strong. I want to train for longevity. I want to keep young, because training and lifting weights makes you young. I'm not getting any younger. And I want to be functional, more importantly. And I feel that especially when you are in the bodybuilding space and when you do a bodybuilding prep, it takes a lot of your time, your energy and your effort that it's very hard to, especially when you're in prep. And I remember, this is just from my experience, when I was in prep, I just didn't have the time and the energy to do anything else, but it was just focused purely on prep. When I say anything else, it's like socializing, working on my business, spending more time on leveling up my coaching, leveling up the content that I put out there. Like, I couldn't do anything of that, any of that, because I was just so focused on that one goal, on stepping on stage and looking my absolute best. Because when this is just my situation, when I am doing a competition, it's all or nothing for me. This is when it comes to competition. But with that being said, my values have changed, because right now I value giving value to my clients and coaching them. I want to make an impact in this world. And maybe this comes down to a maturity thing, where the older you get, it's like, I don't feel the urge to continue this bodybuilding path. And perhaps, I'm saying perhaps, I've closed that chapter of stepping on stage. I'm not sure what will happen in the future, but I know for a fact that I am not going to step on stage anytime in the near future. There's just so many things that I want to pursue in life. And I remember when reflecting back about 8 years ago, when I started my fitness journey, I thought of the reason why I started my journey, because it changed my life and it helped me build my confidence to become a confident woman that I am today, from being shy and just had no confidence at all before I started my fitness journey. And I remember around that time when training started to change who I was becoming, I remember I wrote this down and said, I want to make this impact to so many other women in this world, because I certainly know as women, there's a lot of women out there that lack confidence, that are in toxic relationships, because I was in a toxic relationship that just didn't have the balls to stand up for themselves. And I was just so sick and tired of seeing women weak and just not having that, confidence. And for those that know me personally, although I may seem like a strong, confident woman on this platform, and when you see my other social media platforms, I am certainly not like that. I may portray being that way, but I am a very soft person. Honestly speaking, I'm a soft person and I don't share a lot, and I'm sure not many people share a lot of their vulnerable side, but I do have a lot of moments where, I feel down, but it truly is because lifting weights has helped me, work through that. And this is why I appreciate weight training, because it goes far beyond my physical aspects and helping me just survive mentally, and gives me that purpose of how it changed my life to the impact that I could make on other women. And I just came to that realization that this is what I have more of a drive to empower women, to educate women, and to help women build confidence, because of the experience that I had with weight training and everything that I did. Like, I'm grateful that I've faced a lot of challenges and setbacks when I was in this journey of my fitness journey, and all of those lessons that I've learned, I could pass down to, my younger self, to the woman that needs that leader and coach, because that truly lights me up more than just stepping on stage and doing this for a bodybuilding career or whatever it is. And not to say that I have nothing against people that do this as a career, that this is their sole focus. I have so much respect for them, and that is okay, because our values are different. And that is so okay. Like, I still value taking care of my body, going to the gym and training and continue to get strong for longevity and for empowerment, so that I could show up to my clients, to my community, to you guys here, because that is my ultimate message. I want to share my story to all of you, to help empower you, not just in the gym, but out of the gym, to take control of your life. And that truly lights me up and is my why in continuing what I'm doing. So with that being said, yes, my values have shifted now that I no longer focus on continuing to build as much muscle as I possibly can. Like, it is still in the back of my mind, but my ultimate focus above all everything else is to continue to educate women, to continue to empower women, that lifting weights, weight training it's not just for the physical benefits. It's not just about building muscle. It really is about building mental fortitude for your mental well-being and health overall. And yeah, this is just what I wanted to share. Lastly is that I've just shared my experience about values changing. And I also wanted to say that at some point I felt like I was shedding my old identity, and it was hard to process this sort of change. And I actually thought that there was something wrong with me, that like my values changed and it's not the same as it was before. And that is so okay. So if you are going through, or if you resonated with the story, and it doesn't have to be like competing or anything like that. It could be like, yes, you are working towards a fitness goal, whether that is you just want it to be jacked and you want to build the biggest glutes ever, or you wanted to get shredded abs, and now that is not on your mind because you just, you are maintaining a healthy weight. You just want to get strong. And that is so okay. Just because your favorite fitness influencer is shredding, or she's going through a shred phase or a building phase, doesn't mean that that's what you got to do. And I feel that maybe not many people are aware that they are just following footsteps. And I think that it's empowering, and it shows so much confidence when you know your values and you stick to your values, and you're not changing who you are as a person because your values change. And often when we just follow the crowd and we don't stay true to your values, I feel that you can get to a point where it's just no meaning behind why you do the things that you do. And this could lead to things such as lost, confused, like, why are you doing this? And again, this is just how I experienced it. So I actually took a step back from my social media for a period of time to really self-reflect and find out what I truly value. And I just feel so at peace right now that I know what I value. And who knows, maybe in the next 2 years or maybe in the next 3 years, my values will change. And that is so okay. At the end of the day, I just want to share with you, if you are surrounded by fitness people or what you see on social media, just because someone's doing something doesn't mean you have to follow or you feel inclined to follow. Always stay true to your values. If it doesn't feel right to you, or if it doesn't align with your beliefs, then the chances are it's not going to make you happy or content in any way. So stand up for what you truly want and follow the people that shares the same value as you. So this is just what I wanted to share with you all. So thank you so much for listening to me babble on. And yeah, I hope that this was helpful and that this story resonated with you. And if it did, please let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.